It's the Winter Solstice Extravaganza, a festival unlike any other in the world. Join us for 5 days and 5 nights in the Caribbean island of Antigua. Experience our beaches, our historic island tour, splendid accommodations, and our plant-based meal. And of course, the sunrise and the sunset hike to the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, Green Castle Hill, Mount Anu, amongst the megaliths that align with the stars. Reserve your spot today and join us from Wednesday the 18th to Sunday the 22nd of December 2024 for the Winter Solstice Extravaganza. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. From the dawn of humanity, the universe has provided for man and woman a plant of renown, the tree of life, the healing of the nation, cannabis sativa. From ganja pollen found in the tomb of Ramesses II, to hemp fiber in the temple of Akhenaten, Confucius' canon of rites, the Rig Veda, and the writings of Zoroaster label cannabis as a sacred plant. Marijuana, Mafaizan, in the Orient, it is the spiritual plant of Rastafari. The sacred mint, our sacrament. Beautiful royal family, as we continue to celebrate, as we continue to bask in Maskel, the commemoration of the finding of the true cross of Christ. Glorify the Mawe Haile Selassie, Negus and Nagas. And what I am going to do at this moment, I'm going to show you that Maskel, which is the 27th day of September, is a Rastafari celebration. You know, I'm very thankful for each and every one that has taken the time to come and listen to this explanation that we're going to give right now. I'm going to show to you tonight the link with the comet that is passing through. Yes, as we speak, there is a mighty comet which is now at perihelion to the sun, and it will be visible in the heavens. Yes, it came in for Maskel, the 27th day of September, glorified. And at the same time, remember that an asteroid will be coming into the orbit of the whole moon and the earth, and it will appear as if there is a second moon, and that is coming in just after Maskel. The heavens declare the glory, because today specifically, the 27th, at midday, the cross, which is the southern cross, will be perfectly aligned, midday, erect, 90-degree to the plane of the earth over Ethiopia and Maskel. And all of this can be, and all of this will be scientifically proven right here, right now. Because remember, the 27th day of September is considered to be the commemoration of the finding of the true cross of Christ. Understand that. So this is in the ancient time, ancient Ethiopia. The story is that Queen Helena, which is the mother of Constantine, she is the one that found the cross. And she got 3 bonfires lit up. And the smoke from these bonfires went to the place where they found the cross. Now, of course, many who definitely go into this scholarly study, they actually debate that historical account there. Well, listen to me, whether that be true or not, I know for sure that a lot of the ancient science has been shrouded with religious belief and fables, for sure. But I know that the 27th day of September is a spiritual day. It is cosmically aligned. So the heavens is aligned with the earth. King Lalibela, who built a uh, uh, better Gorogis, or the house of Kidus Girogis, which is the church of St. George in Lalibela. This same temple or church of St. George, which is the rock church of St. George, is designed to align with the same Southern Cross on this day, which is the 27th day of September. This is Maskel, again, the commemoration of the finding of the true cross of Christ. So those of us who feel we dreaded and the dread, and we bonfire on cross, this is not religion. Eh? This is not Jesus hung up on no tree, Rastafari. We are talking about astronomy here. We are talking about ancient theology, if you want to use that term. We're showing you where the stone meets the stars, hierophany, we call it in the science of archaeoastronomy, and the Temple of Lalibela has proven that, and we will prove that even as we speak. As I am saying to the eye, Lalibela connected to the comet that is coming in, and we will address the comet in a few moments. But I hope everyone is blessed. On the 27th day of September, in the year 1916, this is when Haile Selassie I, at that time, the young Tafari, became Rastafari. So remember, from the age of 13, he got the title the Dejima, and of course became governor several provinces. But in 1916, for those who may not know the story, when Empress Zaditu became empress, it was the same time when Haile Selassie I became Rastafari, where we get that term Rastafari. And, he was the regent to the throne. But technically, this was the time, this was the moment when he began to rule Ethiopia. Now, this is very important because you will see some historians date the beginning of his rulership from 1930, and then from 1930 to 74, they will tell you, well, this is the time frame. But some will begin his rulership of Ethiopia from 1960. Because remember, this is something that was, let's just say, in the constitution. Although Ethiopia, according to what we call constitution today, didn't have a constitution until 1931, and then revised, I think it's 1955. But the point is that it was well understood, and it was in writing too. It was well understood that Empress Zaditu was the empress, but the young Tafari, Rastafari, was really the one that was calling the shots. It is only because of the heavy titles and the positions that individuals had why the empress still had a little issue with the different nobles and the different ancient ones that that were influencing Empress Zaditu because she was the empress. She was the head of state. Although she gave the power to the Ras and said, run the show, she really was still the one in charge. So although she had all faith in Tafari, and that's what the historians will have shown us, yet still there were those that were at court and telling her, well, listen, man, he's moving too fast. He wanted to bring airplanes in here. He wanted to bring television in here. We're not into that. He's moving too fast. And she herself definitely was a lover of the anciency, and so is the emperor, but he understood the importance of bringing in technology and getting up to speed with what was taking place internationally. But anyway, the point is that 1960, listen to me, 1960 was the year, the 27th day of September, Maskel. That is when you have the commemoration. That is the finding of the true cross. So remember, that's what Haile Selassie is. He fulfilled all of the mythos that you have, that we speak about, the mythos of Asar. We know Haile Selassie fulfilled that. I'm talking of Osiris, where the 72 individuals came and bowed down to Osiris at his coronation. Remember, the same Osiris cut into 14 or 16 pieces. Article 16 went under in the underworld, the Amenta. 5 years, 5th of May to the 5th of May, 36 to 41. It's obvious, it's undeniable. Osiris became a man at the age of 13. I just mentioned to you that Haile Selassie did mark the age of 13. So, without a doubt, it cannot be denied that Haile Selassie fulfilled the Asar, the Osiris mystery. He fulfilled the prophecy of the Christ figure in the Bible. He fulfilled the prophecy of the Ark of the Covenant and the different mythos that you have. The emperor fulfiller is the fulfiller of such. So when it comes to even the science of the finding of the true cross. Now, if you're going to look at this true cross business, Maskel as just the story of Helena, the mother of Constantine, the so-called great, wanting to find the cross of Christ, lighting fire, following smoke. And now she have the cross of Christ, and the Ethiopian king got some aspect of the cross of Christ and brought it back to Ethiopia. Again, as I said at the beginning of the program, whether that be true or not, there's a deeper meaning than that. Because these stories, even biblical stories, whether many of them be true or not, they stand for something that is deeper than the story itself, and it's the fulfillment of the story. And remember, even history is allegory. Remember, it is St. Paul that said so, that the story that you read of Abraham and Sarah and Ishmael is an allegory. That's in the New Testament. St. Paul says so, that Abraham's story is an allegory. An allegory is something symbolic, something that has a deeper meaning. In fact, allegory is usually seen in poetry and music and in plays as an expression. Now, although allegory really means symbolism, that does not mean that something that is allegorical cannot be literal. It's just that the literal story has a deep symbolism behind of it, to the point that when it's expressed, the symbolic meaning is so strong that some people deny the story and some people consider it as legend. I want to forget what I'm saying, because this is deep. That's why we know Jonah was not swallowed by no fish. Come on, man. Come better than that. But there's nothing wrong with the story. That's how we express ourselves as Africans. That's how we express the mythos, in these different levels of symbolism. So him being swallowed by the fish means that he went into the belly of the beast. That could mean several different things. Many of us have gone through things in life that can be considered like we went through the belly of the beast. We were in the belly of the beast, whether you were in a literal dungeon or you had to travel to some place on the earth that we consider Babylon or the belly of the beast itself. But that was the case of Jonah. And remember, him being swallowed by the fish was just symbolic of something greater, of the Messiah facing the crucifixion. You understand what we're saying? So I'm showing you all of this to bring it back to Maskel, the concept of the cross, the Messiah that carries the cross. But the cross itself is symbolic of the Messiah. It's like the Messiah that has the Holy Grail. But the Holy Grail itself is symbolic of the Messiah. The Ark of the Covenant is symbolic of the Messiah. The tablets inside of the Ark is symbolic of the Messiah. Solomon's temple, wherein the Ark was placed, is symbolic of the Messiah. But we need to understand the allegory. So the cross of Christ that Christ would have to carry is Christ himself, the cross, the southern cross from Shoah. Yeah, this is deep. So when we comprehend this again, 1960, I want to show this to the family, even from the scripture. I want us to take a quick look at the book of Revelations, Revelations chapter 19 specifically. And it is speaking of the return Messiah. Now, I'm not going to go into too much long Bible reading here. I'm just going straight for the verse that I desire to highlight. Verse 16 says, and he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Let me repeat. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Just the other day, I was watching one Hebrew Israelite bishop, which will remain nameless for the time. And Mr. Bishop, who you all know, was trying to diss the king again. And I'm saying, these fellas ain't getting tired of their foolishness. But anyway, you see, my thing is this, man, especially to ones that are believers in Bible and even the Ethiopians. It is as simple can get. The Bible clearly shows you that the Most High shall rise up Christ to sit upon the seat, the throne of King David, after the flesh of the same lineage of David. Remember the Ethiopians believe this. They accept this. And he shall be King of Kings, he shall be Lord of Lords. Revelation 5 says, he shall be the Lion of Judah. It's simple, eh? It's really simple. This is so simple. But it's as if, nah, man, it's too simple. It got to be deeper than that. Well, it's all right. We can carry you much deeper than that. We can show you the picture in the moon. But the point is, you don't need all of that deeper than that stuff. It's simple. The lineage of King David and King Solomon. You believe in the Bible, don't you? Right. And he shall come, Christ shall be resurrected. So that means Christ came, gone, And he coming back again of the same lineage of King Solomon, King David, to sit upon the throne. Wow. And he shall be the King of Kings, he shall be the Lord of Lords, he shall be the Lion of Judah. I mean, as simple as it gets. But we can go deeper, I mean, come on. but I'm just trying to show you a simple ABC. But ones want to try to complicate it. Well, let them go. We can carry them to the stars. We can go into the Orion constellation, a petty mech. But we're just keeping it simple. Now, Lion of the tribe of Judah. Where do you find that? That's in Revelation 5, verse 5. That stands out in Revelation 5, verse 5. King of kings and Lord of lords. That's specifically this verse here. Revelation chapter 19, verse 16. Listen to me good. King of kings and Lord of lords. It was on his vesture and on his thigh. And this is seen in the 16th verse of the 19th chapter. Now, hear this. Although Revelation 19 doesn't have 30 verses, but how interesting it would have been. Are you listening, family? How interesting it would have been. I want you to hear me good now, man. How interesting it would have been if this verse, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, was in Revelation 19, verse 30. 1930. 1930. Just imagine it was 1930. And he shall be called King of Kings and Lord of Lords. What would you say? What you would flip? You would say, wow, undeniable. Yes, that's really mystic. Revelation 19, verse 30. And on his vesture and on his thigh was the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. You'd go and show it to your mother. You'd say, hey, Pops, look at this. I tell you. But trust me, they ain't gonna move them. I'm sure you would have showed them deeper things than that. But as I said, we're just kind of wishful thinking here because Revelation doesn't even have 30 verses. I think it has about 21. Good. But it's Revelation 19:16. Listen good now. The scripture that highlights the King of Kings and Lord of Lords is this scripture here. This specific scripture. This verse. And in the Bible, it's Revelation 19:16. 19:16. It's not 1930, but it's 19:16. As I said earlier, some historians begin Haile Selassie's reign as ruler of Ethiopia in 1930 for obvious reasons. But other historians, for equally obvious reasons, begins his reign in 1916 because it was 1916. He wasn't crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords. There was no King of Kings and Lord of Lords there. It was Empress Zaditu who became Empress when in 1916, which marked the beginning of the rulership of Haile Selassie when in 1916, of course, in 1928, he became Negus, and in 1930, he became Emperor Negusa Nagas. But all of this began, he being the ruler, he going and traveling abroad, him putting Ethiopia into the League of Nations, and then going and visiting all the different European countries, France and Spain and Belgium and Britain and Italy and Greece, and he went to Jerusalem and put Ethiopia on the map from when 1916 and 1916 says on his vesture and on his thigh. Was written, name, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And this 1916 began today, 108 years ago, the 27th day of September, 1916. So the 27th day of September, Rastafari, is a celebration day for I and I. Don't give me no, oh, we burn fire upon cross, we need no mascal business. Come on, let's get out of that, please. This is time for us to evolve. This is not religion. I'm not telling nothing about gentle Jesus, meek and mild, and they put him on the cross and he raised. You didn't hear nothing like that. In fact, even the Helena story is nothing we be pushing. You hear what we pushing here? We pushing Haile Selassie being crowned or given the title Ras. This is a celebration day. This is where we get our name and title Rastafari. Now, the depths of it now, as I said, what is taking place in the heavens as we speak? What is taking place in the atmosphere? I want to show you so you can see. Undeniable how the Southern Cross aligns with Lalibela Temple. So no one can say, well, listen, man, he's just saying that. You will see for yourself as the heavens declare the glory. And as I said, this is the 27th day of September. So I just need to remind my family, all the loved ones who have already pledged that they definitely intend to advertise with the upcoming edition of Kidemi. You didn't know a next edition of Kidemi is on its way out. Oh yeah, definitely. For those who do not know, pardon me, for those who may be even coming in for the very first time, I'm welcoming you to the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. This is what we do here. We spread love and joy, happiness, information, and inspiration. Of course, we go into history, as you just heard. We go into astronomy, which we are going into in a few moments. And this is our new production. This is our magazine, our fully digital online magazine entitled Kidemi. Now, of course, Kidemi highlights, this specific episode highlights a lot of our products and a lot of our services. And our upcoming edition will be in December. On the 21st day of December, we will be launching a next edition of Kidemi. That is the winter solstice itself. So those who are interested in advertising with us, remember, we definitely have a wide readership right now. From the time that this was launched up until now, we have over 20,000 subscribers internationally. I want you to understand this very good. So you yourself, you could definitely advertise your business. You could get a full page. You could get a half a page. You could get a quarter page. Whatever you desire. Remember, the full page and the spread comes with the videos. And keep this in mind. You have until the middle of October, the 15th of October to be precise, to make your request to be a part of the next edition of Kidemi. But remember that it is this weekend that the 50% off offer is coming to an end. So for those of you who are already decided, I know some of you told me that, hey, I already spoke with the wife and we're going to advertise with the next upcoming edition. I'm happy. But let me tell you, you can get whatever you decided, whether it's a full page, whether it's a half page, you can get it for 50% off if you catch us before the end of the month, which is basically this weekend for sure. You don't know how to contact us, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, and let me know, yes, Priest, I for sure, I need to put my ad in the upcoming magazine. I want to catch it before the 50% offer is gone, because I make soaps, or I rent cars, or I have an Airbnb, or I do graphic designs, or I do renovations, or I fix roofs, roofs, what are you talking about? I fix roofs, or I spray cars, I wash cars, or, I do landscaping, whatever it is, wherever you are, because don't mind that 20,000 I was talking about, that's going to hundreds of thousands by the time the next edition is out, because that's what we do. We do marketing and advertising. I want you to understand that. That's why you would see this all over the place. Those of you who are on social media, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you see us because we are always marketing. You go on Twitter, what they call X, you see us. We're always marketing, always pushing our products. So what the magazine does, it somewhat creates this environment where all of our products is in like one capsule, and then it goes out as a product that's edifying and is still, inspiring the reader at the very same time. So yes, family, just make sure you contact us. And that is before the end of the month, which is really now. It's the 27th Mascal. So, talking about the weekend, let's end the week and you can get 50% off of the whatever you choose, full page, half page, even these different boxes. And of course, the prices are quite beautiful. All right. So as I said, hey, let me just highlight Black Dominion. Now you see this beautiful full page that Black Dominion has here. And now when you look at Black Dominion, you could just press the link and go straight to blackdominion.shop. You see what I'm saying? And get your jerseys and get your sweaters and get your bottles and get your puzzles. I love the puzzle, the Black Dominion puzzle, the Rastafari puzzle. How many of you already got one of these puzzles for your children? Come on, man. Love the children, man. Show the children some love. Go and order a puzzle. I am challenging you today, man. We talk too much. Come on, man. Go and buy a puzzle for the little one, man. Black Dominion dot shop. Not respect the Prophet Corey and the beautiful works that he is doing, and of course, you surprise the young ones and say, hey, we got some work to do today. Work, daddy, yeah, we're gonna play. We're gonna put a puzzle together, and they will say, yay, and they will be happy and they will full joy. You got it from Black Dominion, and of course, you're supporting your very own. All right, give thanks, family, and listen, man, just get a copy of this magazine. If you're not gonna, whatever it is, just get a copy of the magazine. Visit the website, Priest Isaac Institute.com. The link is in the description below the video, and you could definitely browse through the magazine and share it with a friend as well. It is definitely also good. Now, what I want to highlight first of all is the upcoming comet that is basically already with us. And this is important for understanding the science of what is taking place. I'm going to get to the Southern Cross in a moment. Now, this is important, eh? Most anticipated comet of 2024 returns this weekend after 80,000 years. And I've always showed you anything with that 80,000 represents the R. The R is the 8. 8,000 and 80,000 is the R. Now, something absolutely fascinating is headed our way. For the first time in 80,000 years, the comet C 2023 also known as, is referred to as Shuchinshan Atlas, is making its grand return to our skies, its grand return after 80,000 years. You can understand. The last individuals to witness this celestial spectacle were the ancestors who ventured out of Africa, according to what that theory there is saying. So again, you will literally see the comet. According to what the report is saying now, you'll be able to see the spectacle in the heavens right now, eh? Right now, that is the comet coming into the atmosphere. It is actually at its closest point to the sun, something that is known as the perihelion. Now, this is interesting. So you got that. This comet is now in the atmosphere, literally close, not the Earth's atmosphere as far as within, our ceiling of gravity, but within the neighborhood. That's what I mean. So let me be clear there, within the neighborhood, of the solar system, to the point that it is at its closest point to the sun. It's perihelion to the sun because, the comet actually has its own orbit, just like the planets have their own orbit. So the comet's orbit is bringing it back in this vicinity. I think that's a better term than atmosphere. This vicinity, yes, gotta be scientifically correct. For the first time in 80,000 years, you get what's going on. And it's actually visible now because of its close proximity to both sun and the earth. This is what I'm trying to show to you, royal family. Very good. So at the same time now, it officially entered into the perihelion stage, or as I am speaking, it is entering into its perihelion stage, its closest stage to the sun, because according to the record, it will be the 27th day of September, which is now, wherein the comet A3 will step into this vicinity to the point that it is at a perihelion to the sun. And again, it's called Chu-Chin-Shan Atlas. And right now, the 27th day, Maskel, it's at its closest point to the sun. Now, why I stress that is because in the year 2011, there was another comet, the curious case of Comet Elenin, a weird sky watching tale. Now, what's interesting about Elenin, family, please? I hope you're with me. What's interesting about Elenin is that just like this comet here, A3, I was following Elenin, and this was in 2011. Elenin did something that was mystic. It crossed over the Earth's ecliptic on the 27th day of September. Now, crossing over the Earth ecliptic means that it would have crossed over from the southern hemisphere to the northern celestial hemisphere. Now remember, that is obviously apparent because you're on planet Earth. You gotta keep all of this in mind. The heavens don't have no hemisphere and up and down and the north and south. Nothing like that exists there. It is because we're here on this sphere called planet Terra that we can superimpose what we have here, like our equator and our poles, to the celestial sphere, which is really somewhat of an imaginary sphere, as if we are on a ball inside of a bigger ball. You get it? That's why it's apparent. That's why the sun appears to rise. That's why an eclipse gives you this glorious impression as if the sun and the moon the same size. Follow me good. So I'm trying to show you now, on that apparent level, you would have seen Elenin. This is in 2011. You would have seen Elenin cross from the southern celestial hemisphere. On the day of the cross, Elenin would have crossed over on the day of the cross, the 27th day of September. This is a comet Elenin. 2011 and would have come into the northern celestial hemisphere. And then now today, another comet, 27th day of September, again. Man, now he comet. Because remember, they have a comet named Haile Comet or Haley Comet. Haley Comet for real. You better believe it. Now he comet. Now he comet. These comets are signs of Haile Comet for real to make up his jewels. All his jewels, precious jewels, his love and his own. So hear this, you'll observe that this one today, the 27th, the day of the cross, Maskel, is closest to the sun, perihelion. That's the comet today. And 2011, that comet, Elenin, wasn't closest to the sun, but it crossed over. On the day of the cross, it crossed over. The elliptic, it crossed over from the southern celestial hemisphere to the northern celestial hemisphere. Follow it with Rastafari. That is why I'm trying to show you, family, we cannot take these religious outlooks. I know earlier I was showing you the Abuna speaking at the Maskel celebration, and you know that's a lot of religion there. That's a brother that is telling you that, hey, listen, man, Christ and his mother are white people because, you know, the Israeli and all kind of stuff. That's how he looks at it. So there's a lot of religion there. So remember, a lot of things that are considered religious are really ancient science. But in the last couple of 100 years, religious dogma and stories would have overtaken them, you know? So you can go deep into it and many things, like, for example, this. This is just the perfect example. I don't even have to look for another example. Maskel, the commemoration of the finding of the true cross of Christ. It's obvious that it's a cosmic thing. It's obvious that it's connected to the heavens. Brother Haile Selassie already showed us how it's connected to the star Sirius. Maskel, he showed us how it's connected to the king's list of Ethiopia. Maskel, we're showing you, you can see for yourself the heavens rejoicing, comets coming close to the sun to pay homage. When? On Maskel. Comets crossing over on the day of the cross from the south to the north celestially. When? Maskel. And then now, listen to this. Earth will capture second moon this weekend. Scientist says. Maskel. Earth having a second moon. This is not no, you know what I mean, conspiracy theory or whatever, no hocus pocus. This is raw science. You check any science journal, you see this is space.com, but outside of space.com, it could be earth.com. This is known scientific news. Earth will get a second moon this weekend, but it won't be sticking around for long. I think in about November 25th also, the moon is going to leave. So basically what it is really, again, an apparent vibration. You know, it's 2024 PT5, I think its name is officially. And what it is, it's like an asteroid just coming into the arena again, into the vicinity. So it's taken up basically in the Earth's orbit as such, but it will leave the orbit after a while and go its own merry way. So it gives this impression as if we will be having two moons in the sky at specific time frame within that 2-month period. And that is basically what it's all about. But it's still mystic. It still has an energy to it. You know, don't take it for granted. Let me see here. Okay, bam, bam. Don't take it for granted. Don't make it be just like a simple thing that you overlook, because it's, okay, pardon me with that. It's not something that we're gonna just simply overlook like that, because what it's showing you is that the atmosphere above us will be changing to really align itself with that. That's why astrologers are getting into that conversation and saying, well, this is going to heighten some level of awareness and some level of consciousness and things of that nature, you know. It says here, NASA scientists have calculated that Earth will capture a second moon on Sunday, the 29th of September. The mini moon comes in the form of the tiny asteroid 2024 PT5, which usually orbits the sun as part of a small asteroid belt that follows Earth. While Earth's primary companion, the moon, has lingered around our planet for around 4 billion years since its formation in the solar system's infancy, the asteroid will be a temporary fixture that won't even see the year out. So you understand. But the point I'm making is that all of this is obviously taking place at a mystic time. All of this is taking place during the time of Maskel. And the Maskel energy, again, is the energy of the cross, the crux. The Maskel energy, we are aligning that with Haile Selassie the first becoming Rastafari. It is the 108th celebration of Haile Selassie's ascension to that position of Rastafari, as Empress Zaditu as well became the Empress of Ethiopia at that very same time. So it's a celebration moment on a higher level than Helena, you know, finding cross. Yeah. So interestingly, because the Helena is a queen, the Helena is a woman, and Zaditu, of course, is the queen. Zaditu is the woman. And as I said, the emperor himself represents that individual that carried the cross for us, that individual that bear our sins for us. You better believe it. It may sound religious to you, but you just need to check your history and understand what took place at the brink of World War II. Beautiful. All right, family. Now, what I would like to do for you is to give you a better understanding of what's taking place in the heavens as it relates to Lalibela and the Southern Cross. Give thanks. All right, royal family, I want you to observe this good and observe it quickly. Now, as you can see, we're right here, Lalibela in Ethiopia. See there? Ethiopia, Lalibela. So this is where we're observing the heavens from. Now, this constellation here is the Southern Cross. You see? Beautiful little cross. It's the Southern Cross. You can see it obviously looks like a cross. It's not hard to see at all. You don't necessarily need the lines, but if you were to put in the lines, you know, you'll still just the Southern Cross, and that's the rest of it. So let me take the lines out so we can concentrate on the cross. Now, the Southern Cross, when you observe the coordinates, it's right there in the Southern Hemisphere. So that is why when you are in the South, you actually see it much better. But those of us who are above the equator, we see it sinking below the horizon. I just wanted to give you a good understanding of that. So if you were in Lalibela looking at, this is really midday. The time you're looking at here is midday. You can actually see it here. It is midday, like 1 minute, 2